Welcome to another edition of Crime Time with DutyRon and Ed Wallace. We are retired New York City police detectives with 20 plus years of law enforcement. And if you like all things true crime related from a police perspective, please hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell, so you will get all things DutyRon and this guy right here, Ed Wallace, when we go live or upload another video. Special thank you to the Patreon supporters, the channel members, and all the folks who subscribe and positively engage with not just this community, but all of our victims and families that we cover, the cases that we cover. It's because of the way you guys are makes this place great. So thank you, thank you. Ed, where are you tonight? You're a traveling guy. Where are you and what are you up to, brother? How you feeling?
I'm good, good. Thank you very much. I'm in Florida. I got out of New York after shoveling snow for 2 days, and I'm in Florida, just north and west of Orlando. I'm on assignment with LSU and the Department of Homeland Security.
You're a jack of all trades, but tonight we're going to be talking about a very, very sensitive case. Diamond Alvarez, young girl who was killed by her friend. I don't even want to call him a boyfriend, or killed by an acquaintance early in January. I believe it was the 11th. Shot over 22 times outside of their home while walking their little dog. Just a tragic case. But to add insult to injury, Ed, we've been speaking about this. The criminal justice system, the police did their job. They got the bad guy. They brought him to custody. They brought him into custody, brought him to jail, and the judge let him go.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I talked briefly about this, but again, it's reminiscent of New York bail reform in the wake of defunding the police, the cancel culture, the soft touch on criminals, and all of these rights activists and these people who are saying that the people who can't afford bail are being treated unfairly. This is a classic example of a bad guy, a murderer, who was released into population to now terrorize people of the community, because not only are the parents worried about their safety, what about all the people who live within that Harris County area? They're all freaking out because there's a murderer that has a ankle monitor on him and he's free. Just terrible.
It is. These criminal justice reforms and social justice, let's just get this out of the way. Social justice is not criminal justice, okay? And those that profess social justice and doing these social justice reforms and these social justice district attorneys, okay, who is benefiting from this? Yeah. Not the victims. The victims are being victimized twice. First, they're the victim of the initial crime, and then they're the victim of the district attorney. So the government is victimizing them, okay? And then not only the judges, not only the prosecutors rather, but the judges as well, because state legislatures pass these ridiculous reforms that give all these rights to the defendant.
Yeah, it's madness. It's maddening. And when you talk about a case like this, you look at a young teenager who had the whole rest of her life ahead of her, and you have the court system, who we rely on, that long arm of the law, reached out and grabbed this bad guy, brought him to justice, and the people who we now depend on to take that second step, that prosecution step, the judicial system fails, and it fails miserably. I want to play a piece of media because we have Diamond Alvarez's mom waiting in the green room. So I want to play this quickly. This is going to set it up for our outside. There are so many people chiming in from Australia. I see a lot of people. Mary Flynn's here. Alicia B. Thank you, Matt Boy Sully. Good to see you. Thank you, Diane B., my neighbor across the street, who graciously took care of the snow again for me with the snow thrower. So thank you, Diane. But I want to play this piece of media so everybody could see outside the country and inside the country what we're dealing with here. And this is just going to be some older footage, and then we're going to segue into some of the newer footage. But I want to play this piece because this really is going to give you an idea. And I hate to even put this mutt's picture up on the screen, But let's just play this and get it out of the way.
17-year-old accused of fatally shooting his girlfriend 22 times was arrested Monday night, but he's now out on bond. And the family of the victim, 16-year-old Diamond Alvarez, tells KHOU they fear something might happen to them since they have been receiving threats after the shooting. Anayeli Ruiz joins us live from Park Manor Street. And Anayeli, what is Diamond's mother saying?
Well, hey, Reka, as you can imagine, she's heartbroken that he was let out on such a low bond. She says she lives in fear because he lives just 5 blocks away from her house.
My heart dropped again.
That was a reaction Ana Machado had after she learned that the man accused of shooting and killing her daughter bonded out of jail.
He executed my daughter. It was execution. Why would you want that animal to be out here for what?
17-year-old Frank De Leon was charged with the murder of 16-year-old Diamond Alvarez last week in Southwest Houston. At the time Diamond was walking her dog, prosecutors say she had been shot 22 times as she lay face up on the ground. And today De Leon was back in court to set his bond conditions. De Leon was surrounded by family.
Do you have anything to say?
During the court hearing, we also learned that De Leon and Alvarez had broken up after being in a romantic relationship for the past 6 months. Prosecutors say they met up at the park after Alvarez learned that De Leon was seeing another woman. They say prior to getting together, text messages between them showed De Leon asking Alvarez to keep their relationship a secret, saying, quote, "Don't ruin this for me." Prosecutors say at certain times of the relationship, he's accused of being violent with both women.
The complaining witness, specifically one where he had pointed a gun at her and, quote, clicked it.
And
That was the district attorney, by the way, giving the description of the violence in the past. So that was just a clip of the district attorney. I just want to let you guys know.
now her family is living in fear because of threats they say they keep receiving. They say they've called police about those threats.
They pointed, they lowered the window and they just did this with their hands. I mean, we know what it means.
With a cop guarding her house 24/7, she's begging and asking them to leave her alone.
All we trying to do is be in peace with Diamond. That's all we want. We're not doing nothing else. We're not doing nothing wrong.
As for his bonds conditions, well, he is supposed to remain under house arrest. He's not to leave Harris County. He has to wear an ankle monitor, and he also can't have any contact with the victim's family or the alleged woman he was having a relationship with. Reporting live, Anayeli Ruiz.
So there you have it, folks. I just wanted to set that up quickly. And I was going to play another clip, but I don't want to wait. We have Diamond Alvarez's mom here. We're going to add them on now. Anna and Blanca, thank you so much for being here tonight with us from Texas. I want to say off the bat, my wholehearted, sincere condolences to you, your entire family, the entire community there, everybody who's been affected by this. My heart breaks, and our family here at Crime Time with DutyRon love and respect you guys.
Absolutely. My heart bleeds for
Thank
you
you.
all.
We want to thank you guys for all your support all the way from New York. And, we didn't know that this case actually got media attention all the way over there. And we're very thankful that Mr. Ron reached out to us all the way from over there,
Yeah, it was important to me, not only as a retired law enforcement professional, but as a father and as a human being, to speak about this case. My partner, Ed, and I have spent a combination of 45 years in law enforcement and policing. And, I tell you, Anna, I had to make videos and I had to reach out to you and offer some assistance and some help. And I was happy to be able to make communication with you, and that you had you had entrusted me to communicate with you, talking about the victim's advocate, talking about some of the things that were important. But I wanted to ask, Anna, what was we saw here in this news press release what your feelings were, but when you saw this savage taken into custody, you saw this animal, as you said, brought into custody, and then just a short period of time later, he was released. When you heard he was released, what was the feeling for you and your family?
As I stated, yeah, my heart dropped. I just can't explain my heart dropped. I mean,
It was
sure
mixed
diamond.
emotions,
Yeah.
mixed emotions. It was, first it was relief, then it was, oh my God, then it was, they can't be like,
And the
now
anger and the fear.
then came fear, then came harassing, then came the threats, then came everything. So it's been like all of the emotions there could be within just a matter of 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Hey, Blanca, I wanted to ask you, Blanca, your relation to the Diamond. You're her aunt, or
Yes, sir.
yes.
Yes, sir.
So because people in the chat are asking who is Blanca.
Yes, I am Diamond's aunt. I am her aunt. This is my cousin,
Yes.
and we're just a united family. No matter what, when things happen, we all come together. And ever since this happened, it's like we all came together, not just the family, but also the community. And now, wow, like all the way over there to you guys, like I was saying earlier. So it's just been terrible, but at the same time, we're thankful, we're grateful,
Were you in the courtroom at the time of the bond hearing?
No.
No. And did the district attorney reach out to you
Yes.
before the bond hearing?
After no,
No.
not before. Mm-mm.
Okay, so you had no idea that they were going to ask for such low bail.
No, sir. No, it was like, to us, it was like excuse my language, a kick in the ass, like a slap on the wrist, like so many people say, like, dude, you just took a person's life, their life is not just worth $250,000. My niece's life was worth like just as much as anybody else's. So why we're in disbelief that he got that much amount of a bond, because we know now that during these times, not all of the bail bonds ask for the 10%. Down here in Texas is 10% to bail out.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're understanding that in many places you don't even have to pay the 10% to bond out.
Yeah, it's a travesty of justice to have somebody who has taken another human being's life, and in the fashion that this savage took Diamond away with the amount of times he shot her. The fact that some judge could look at that and say, "Hey, let's give him $250,000." Now, I've done my homework. I started researching about the bail requirements. Before September of 2021, Governor Abbott, he put in some bail reform adjustments because there was a mess up by the same judge on a case prior, where we had a woman, a young person who was bailed out and bonded out, and she killed somebody. And this same judge didn't learn by that mistake and did that again here in this case. But Texas had $50,000 bond on murder suspects in the past, which is outrageous. I'm outraged by that. I mean, how can you put $50,000 bond on someone who has taken another person's life? And then when they said the $250,000 for Diamond's case, that was a high bail. No, 3.5 million, like they did for the corrections sergeant who was raped in the Harris County Jail. The perpetrator was already in jail, but he raped her. He didn't kill her. I mean, it was horrific and a heinous crime. But where's the equality here? Where does it match up? It doesn't match up.
It doesn't match up. I mean, if they're gonna do, I firmly believe that if they're going to make a punishment for murders, make a punishment for assault members, or aggravated assault, I think it should be across the board. Not only if you're a citizen, or if you're a cop, or if you belong to the Congress, or if you belong up in the chain. then that's when they make it, you know, all these laws, and they move left and right to change the situations. But what happens to us citizens? What
Right.
happens, you know, to the people that from you know, that don't belong to the government, that don't work for the government, you know, that also pay our taxes, you know? So what happens to us citizens? Why do we not get the same justice? Why is it different for us?
Right. And that brings me to Blanca, liberty and justice for all. Where
For
is
all,
the for all
exactly.
here? You know,
Mhm.
I want to show just some lighter moments of Diamond with her mom, with Anna, dancing in the kitchen a little bit. I want to show that just a bit for the folks that are out there. This is the kind of beautiful person. This is the beautiful soul of
daughter who died right there.
Whoever shot this girl 22 times on the back, they cowards.
this is her
Houston
stepdad,
police
right?
can't confirm that
Yes.
number of gunshots, and we're still waiting on the report from the medical examiner or suspects. But the family thinks this might not have been random and say her cell phone had been taken.
And I didn't believe it. How can something like this happen?
Meanwhile, friends and family continue to visit this memorial,
Here we go.
trying to wrap their heads around this young girl's death.
And we went to middle school together.
So that's some, you know, lighter moments in the kitchen there of the mom and daughter dancing. That's what it's supposed to be. Now, you just heard my bird. For those of you who are hearing that noise, that is the pet parrot. He or she loves to talk and chatter up when these guys are on the phone or doing something. Now you hear my African guy right here. He's whistling because he's hearing your bird, and that's his answer to it.
He's answering.
Yeah. So my bird's 33 years old. He has a life expectancy of 75. So I think
wow.
my kids are that's gonna be willed with my will. It's gonna not only be my property, but it's gonna be my bird.
That's beautiful. That's just beautiful.
But yeah, so ladies, I wanted to show that beautiful moment of you dancing with your daughter, just to let everybody see what kind of a great all-American family you guys are and how close you were. You know, you said to me in some of our conversations that, you know, you were a very strict parent. You know, you watched over her, and you everything was, you know, everything was in check. It wasn't like it was a household of just, you know, come and go as you please. You guys are a close-knit family. And you know, do you want to just tell us a little bit about like her schooling? You know, she's a straight A student. I want some of the folks to know what kind of a person and how good Diamond did in her school.
She is a straight A. I recently received her report card, and she had 270.
Wow.
I didn't like 70. So I went in the room and I still talked to my daughter. And I told her that I'm proud, but them 70s, they have to go up. She passed 2 of her STAR tests. And if it's 3, they have to take, and she passed 2. And I went in the room and I told her that she needed to work harder.
Right.
She's so worried about her GPA.
She had a good GPA.
3.12, which I told her is not good, but it's not bad. And I say you still have, you know, 2-3 more years to go, so bring it up.
Yeah.
But she was just worried about that, worried about her grade, worried about. I never had to tell her do homework.
Right.
Never.
Wow.
She's never ever since she started being to summer school. Not even one. My daughter went one time on 7th grade, I believe, to volunteer. She can go to summer school.
Wow. Well,
They laughed and said, no, fix it.
Yeah, it's just a testament to, the volume's just a little bit low. Yours is higher, Blanca, than hers, but I can hear her because I'm listening to it with an earpiece, but some of the people in the audience are asking to bring the volume up. But I think it was just maybe the way the earpiece was in. But so It's okay. It's okay. Completely understand. And Anna, I wanted to ask those questions because I want to show everybody the good, not the bad, all bad. But we do have to speak again. We do have to speak about this case, and I want to highlight what the judge did in the past and how she did not learn from her mistakes. So I'm going to play a little piece. And again, I appreciate that you are understanding of why I want to play this. This is the judge. Her name, again, I'm just so upset with what happened here and what went on in this case. So I'm going to play a little clip from what this judge did in the past. So let me just cue that up real quick. Here it is. This is going to be difficult to watch, but I think everybody needs to see this.
Has been on the run. 19-year-old woman charged in the murder of a man who was set on fire along with his wife, who was critically burned, has been on the run since April.
Now, before this happened, she was given 2 felony bonds. She was allowed to be free as she was awaiting trial, only to then fail to show up for court. And Fox 26's Randy Wallace looks closer tonight at this case and his continuing series Breaking Bond, live from the Southwest side. Randy?
Caitlin, if 174th Criminal District Court Judge Hazel Jones would have revoked Emma Pressler's bond instead of just giving her another one when she picked up a new felony charge, a 33-year-old man might be alive tonight and his wife wouldn't be fighting to survive.
I mean, this girl had a lot going on in less than a year.
For some reason, judges seem to want to bend over backwards for 19-year-old Emma Pressler.
She should have been locked up a long time ago.
Pressler's run-in with the law began in September of 2020. That's when she and 4 other defendants were charged in the murder of 20-year-old Sierra Rod.
She was there. We all know she was there. I mean, it's just the truck was at my house. She was caught in the truck. She was there. Her boyfriend is charged with Sierra's murder and is in jail.
But a magistrate decided there was no probable cause, so he dismissed the murder charge against Pressler. When Pressler lands in the 174th Criminal District Court, Judge Hazel Jones gives her a felony bond for credit card abuse.
So she's out. So now we're out on a felony. Months later, she gets charged with yet another felony.
The DA's office asked Judge Hazel Jones to revoke Pressler's bond and put her in jail. Instead, Judge Jones gives Pressler another felony bond.
Pressler's been a fugitive for over 4 months. She's been wanted.
Earlier this month, police say Emma Pressler went to the Kingwood home of 33-year-old Devin Graham, doused him with gasoline, and set him on fire, killing him. His 26-year-old wife, Carissa Lindros, was critically burned.
My heart goes out to them because I know exactly what they're going through. And it's the most horrible thing.
She's probably one of thousands of defendants who are somewhere roaming around the streets of Harris County who have bond forfeiture warrants out.
Although Crime Stoppers has asked Harris County's Justice Administration Department repeatedly for the names of those freed on multiple bonds who are now wanted fugitives, the county refuses to compile the data. It appears criminal district court judges don't want you to know just how many dangerous criminals they've set free, and now no one seems to know where the heck they are, like Emma Pressler.
It's terrifying because I feel scared for other families out there, other kids. It blows my mind.
We called Judge Hazel Jones for comment, and yeah, we know she's not going to respond. Now, if any criminal district court judges have a positive story about repeat violent offenders they've let out of jail multiple times on multiple bonds, I'm all ears. Reporting live from the Southwest side.
So there you have it. This is the same judge who's on Diamond's case. She released that girl on a bond, and she absconded and was on the run for 4 months, and then she killed somebody. Before we go any further, I want to put this up on the screen. Nothing But Love sends in a $200 super chat, and she says, "Dear Mom, this is to you, Anna. Many prayers for you. I buried 2 of my children, and I know just how difficult this is. Please know that there are others like you. Please know I care. If you want to reach out to me, you can learn more information about me through DutyRon. I'm so sorry for your loss. Blessings, my dear." And I want to tell you something about Nothing But Love. Her name is Denise, her first name. She is a wonderful, wonderful human being. And if you want her contact information, I will share it with you, certainly. She's someone who's gone through it twice.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I think it's important that these nice people reach out that are going through similar situations, because it gives us support. Not only that, but they show us how to be able to cope with these types of situations, right?
Never, ever.
We've never been through anything like this.
No.
The people of Harris County have to stand up and push back against the various levels of government here. Now, in our country, and this is a little civics, whether it's local, state, or federal government, we have 3 branches of government. We have the executive, which is the mayor or governor or the president. And then we have the legislature, and then we have the courts. Okay.
Right.
Now, in your case, this judge is elected. Okay. And the prosecutors are elected. If these people are supposed to be working for us, we elect them to represent us. And the primary responsibility of any government is the protection of the people. And if they're failing at providing this protection to the community, they need to be removed. The people have to stand up and push back. The people have to get their voices organized and go after this judge, go after this prosecutor for allowing these types of bail situations to occur. And you have to have the ability to recall all of these elected officials, whether it's a judge or an elected prosecutor or the legislature that are making these social justice reforms.
Yeah.
Right.
Well said, Ed.
Exactly.
And I'm sure the ladies can agree, and everybody in the chat is agreeing. I have
Yes,
to highlight.
definitely.
I have to highlight one more piece here. This is from Real with Robo, sends in a $5 super chat, and he or she, I think it's she, Real with Robo says, "I've lost 2 of my own and can't imagine how you all are so strong. God bless you both, and much love
you.
from Tennessee to you all." And I know in Tennessee they say y'all. So thank you, Real with Robo, for the words of encouragement and the super chat. I want to play how the bonds are set. I want the people to see how it's done in Harris County, and this is going to show how ridiculous it is. This is a travesty. Again, I keep saying a travesty of justice, but this is something that we cannot remain quiet about this. In the name of Diamond Alvarez, in the name of all the other victims, this man who was set on fire. And like that news reporter said, how many more of these heinous criminals are being released? The justice system denied them access to knowing how many are out there. That means that there's tons of them. There's tons of these horrific criminals who have committed heinous crimes, and they're being released in Harris County. They're being released at a very alarming rate. It's so alarming that they don't want to tell us. They don't even want us to know. So that's effed up. And I'm going to use the bleep machine. That is effed up. That is really bad. Let me make sure I got the right thing. Okay, yes, this is it. I'm going to play this, guys. Again, this is going to show the perpetrator being walked out. So I apologize, Anna, but I got to show this. Where is it? There it is. I'm going to go back from the beginning. Why isn't it playing? All right. This is important. I want
His
this-
15-year-old girlfriend 22 times after she caught him cheating is home after bonding out of jail. It's been a big talker in our newsroom, and we see a lot of you expressing outrage online. So we spoke with Diamond Alvarez's mother tonight, who tells us she's now in fear for the safety of her family and her community. 13 Investigates also obtaining court documents tonight showing prosecutors requested De Leon be held in jail on a $250,000 bond, which a judge granted, and then De Leon posted. Eyewitness News reporter Brooke Taylor is standing by live, and we get it, innocent until proven guilty. And in Texas, a person has the right to a bond as long as they're not charged with a capital crime. De Leon is not. The disconnect here, though, Brooke, seems to be the amount he had to pay to get out for such heinous allegations.
Definitely, Eric. That's why we spoke with our legal expert about this to kind of get his take. And he says since there was this bail reform lawsuit that was brought to Harris County that really challenged the bail system, it completely changed things. And now we have a system, he says, that tends to be in favor of defendants a lot more than it was previously. 17-year-old Frank De Leon posted his $250,000 bond today after being charged with murder, accused of shooting his 16-year-old girlfriend 22 times earlier this month.
That bond, that's a joke.
Diamond Alvarez's mother shocked to hear her daughter's accused killer is no longer behind bars as he awaits trial. ABC 13 reached out to our legal expert, Steve Shellis, to figure out how this bond compares to the average bond for someone charged with murder.
There used to be a bond or bail schedule in Harris County that was fairly rigidly followed, and that bail schedule called for a $50,000 bond for murder cases.
That's
his 15-year-old girlfriend.
Outrageous. $50,000 bond for a murder case. I mean, what the hell is that?
I'm still trying to wrap my head around how murder is not a capital crime. What is a capital crime if murder is not a capital crime? Can anybody answer that?
Yeah. I mean, in New York, there's the stipulations where it has to be two or more human, murders to be capital when it was on the books. And then it also, when it was involved, EMS, law enforcement.
Now he's 17 years old, correct? He's 17?
Yes.
They're not treating him as a juvenile.
No. I wouldn't think so. But let me just let this play. I lost my spot. And I'm pissed off because I wanna play what this guy has to say. Shit. Oh, okay, here we go.
A bond or bail schedule in Harris County that was fairly rigidly followed, and that bail schedule called for a $50,000 bond for murder cases.
Based on what judges have set bond to for murder charges historically in Harris County, which is $50,000, Shellis says this is considered a high bond.
There are going to be some states out there that have much more conservative bail schedules where they're harder on the criminals. Texas right now is just, it's had some changes over time, and it is starting to become, I wouldn't say friendly towards criminals and defendants, but certainly more favorable.
Many may wonder how judges ultimately make decisions on what.
Now pay attention here, because now they're going to talk about this correction officer who was raped inside the Harris County jail. The perpetrator who perpetrated that crime against her, and that's a heinous crime. But again, he didn't murder her. He raped her, which is horrible, horrific. They gave him $3.5 million bail. Why the fuck, excuse my language, did they give $250,000 bail bond to someone who shot somebody 20 plus times?
Amount they set bond to, especially when comparing cases. Take this one. Jeremiah Williams is an inmate accused of beating and sexually assaulting a Harris County sheriff's sergeant. Last month, the judge set his bond to $3.5 million.
$3.5 million.
So why was his bond set higher than a murder charge?
Of course, you would think, well, a murder,
Notice there's a different judge on that bench. I'm just going to let it go back just a little bit.
And he's in prison.
Of course. But
right.
Look who's there. It's not Judge Jones. Each individual judge, I think, has different guidelines that they go by. I don't see where $3.5 million bail for a guy who's already remanded and in jail, how it doesn't apply $1 million+ on someone who takes somebody's life. How can the legislator, how can the people who are in any power of making laws think that it's okay to let somebody out on a $250,000 bail? It's just bond. It's ridiculous.
Of course, you would think, well, a murder, that's got to be worse than
$1 million. So why was his $3.5 million? So why was his bond set higher than a murder charge?
Of course, you would think, well, a murder, that's got to be worse than a sexual assault. But that's only one part of the equation. The other part is you've got to look at their criminal history, right? You've got to look at their future danger to the community.
Under the law, aside from
if you shoot somebody 22 times, you're a danger to the community. I don't give a shit if you have no criminal record. And in this case, he did not, according to the news reports, have a criminal record. But if you shoot someone 22 times, you are a danger.
capital murder, all defendants are entitled to bond. Still, this mother says she wants to see bond set at high
history, right? You've got to look at their future danger to the community.
Under the law, aside from capital murder, all defendants are entitled to bond. Still, this mother says she wants to see bonds set at higher amounts for those charged with violent crimes.
You're laughing at me. You're laughing at Diamond. It's a joke.
Brooke Taylor, ABC 30.
So she's right. It was a joke. This is a joke. Guys, you're sideways.
The camera flipped.
Anna, they're looking at the live stream right now. I'm just going to remove them.
You know what? I'd like to know what the district attorney told them. How did they explain the $250,000 bond to them?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to ask them that when they come back on. Let me add them. Guys, you're sideways. Hi, ladies.
Flip your camera.
The camera is sideways. Okay. That's
Well, we got movement. There we go. Okay.
All right. We have you, but we have no sound. They can't hear me. Leave and then come back. So I'm gonna remove them, and then hopefully they'll come back. Yeah, I think she got it. All right. Let's look back. What were you saying now, Ed? I lost train of thought.
Well, I'm trying to figure out. The district attorney did not consult them before they asked for that bond. They only talked to them after the bond hearing, after they came to an agreement with the defense attorney and the judge. And I want to know how they justified the $250,000 to this family.
Yeah, it was the district attorney made that suggestion of the 250, and I think the district attorney banked on this family not being able to come up with 250. They undersold them, and they put their house up, I believe, some real property. But according to Governor Abbott's bail reform, September 13th of 2021, when you are accused of murder, you have to come up with cash bail. So if they came up with whether it was half of this 250 or it's
10%.
10%. So they came up with the 10%.
25,000.
25 grand. So they came up with 25 grand. And listen, that is ridiculous. He stands charged with shooting her, and most of the shots are in her back.
Right, and even over the objections of this family, the district attorney is not going to go back into that court and try to get the bond made higher or lifted. I mean, this is just an outrage. Again, as I said earlier, it's victimizing the victims again.
Yeah, and it's sending a message to Americans that you can commit a crime and not get justice.
When you have this revolving door justice where you commit a crime, you get locked up by the police, they cut you loose in court, and then you go back out, commit a crime, get locked up by the police, they cut you. They're laughing at us.
Yeah.
Okay. The criminals are laughing at us. In fact, we had one guy that did a bank robbery in New York City, got arrested, brought before the judge, cut loose, went out, did another bank robbery, went before the judge, got cut loose, went out and did another bank robbery, and then he did an interview as he was doing a perp walk, and he was thanking the state legislature for such a ridiculous system.
Yeah, and so the criminals know that they can get over on the system, and they are laughing. It's just a joke. Fiberfloozies Crafts. In Texas, a person must be of at least 18 years of age at the time of the crime to have a death penalty imposed upon him or her. Thank you for that. I appreciate that.
And for those of you that are asking, Harris County is basically Houston.
Yeah, it's Houston. The Houston PD is who's handling the case. I have the sergeant from homicide. Anna was kind enough to share his contact with me, and I reached out to him. I got him on the phone. He spoke to me, and then he's supposed to call me back because I personally want to know how much bail they put up, what they had to pay to get this kid out, because they're being tight-lipped about it. Even the family, Diamond Alvarez's family, doesn't even know how much bail was put up. They don't know. All right, they're back. Let's see. Can you guys hear me? Ladies?
Yeah, hello.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that. So we were curious to know, after showing that piece, did the district attorney communicate with you guys and say how much bail was put up by this perpetrator's family, and why they came to that $250,000 reasoning?
We can't hear you right.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Something's wrong with the speed on your voice or something.
Can you
now
hear me?
It's really slow. At first it was really fast. Now it's really slow.
Huh.
Can you hear me, Anna?
Can you hear Ed?
We can hear you, but you sound like a month, like
really
Okay.
slow.
All right. I promise I didn't have anything to drink tonight. Just water.
So we're having yeah, I'm only drinking water too. I'm only drinking water. So, sorry about that. So I don't know. All right. So then I guess I'm gonna try removing and adding them again. I don't know what's going on with the stream, but again, I apologize for that.
Is anybody else in the chat hearing it that way?
Tell him to call my phone.
Can you
put it on my phone?
Okay. Okay. Well, you can send the link. Oh my. All right. So this is technology, which is tough. It's hard to get the link. She was having some kind of technical problems. Let's answer some of these super chats. So let me go back to the super chats quick while I have them up. Okay. Here's one from JSD. Are we protecting innocent victims? ? Or criminals? Yeah. I mean, thank you for that super chat. It's disheartening because as that report said right there, it's almost like it's working we're working for the criminals to make it easy for them, and that's what it really seems like, you know. Rita, yes, I agree. Thank you for that $20 super chat. We've got to stop this. 100%. This is madness. This is madness at its finest.
Thank you,
Go ahead.
Oh, thank you, LT, for the 5x5.
Thank you. Lieutenant P. Pranzo is in the building. Thank you for that. Joe Murray sent in a super chat. Let's see. I always like to hear what Joe has to say. Joe Murray says, in 2004, the U.S. Supreme Court outlawed the death penalty in cases where the defendant is less than 18 at the time of the commission of the crime. So there you go. So he's underneath that age. But
okay.
Still,
but bail or bond? Okay. I get that. But bail or bond should have been set way higher.
Yeah. So he says that applies in all 50 states. Bail, he should not have seen the light of day. He should not be allowed to.
Remanded.
Yeah. Remanded, no bail.
That's right.
So, yeah, they just sent me a thing. Put us back. You sounded like a Martian for a few seconds.
Okay.
Getting ready to join. So they're going to join by her iPhone because I think they were using an Android. Again, I just want to set up one more piece that I wanted to play while the ladies are coming back. And again, you know, very brave, very strong that she's able to come on here because I do want to speak about the protest that they have planned for Wednesday outside the courthouse. And this protest, in my eyes, is something that needs to be done. I'm going to try to put that up on the screen so everybody could see it. That's not it. But yeah, Ed, this is just a complete outrage. I just can't even, as a parent, as a human being, I can't imagine if, God forbid, the shoe was on the other foot, how that. What am I hearing? Is that you? Oh, that's over by you?
I guess that's somebody outside my in the street.
All right. So this is they're calling it as a protest, but it's going to be peaceful protest, ladies and gentlemen. So this is, let me go full screen so everybody could see it. So February 2nd, which is Wednesday, they're going to meet at 10 a.m. in front of the district attorney's office. That's 500 Jefferson Street. And then they're going to march at the ending point to the Harris County Courthouse. That's at 1201 Franklin Street. If you are in that Houston area, where they're going to be, reach out either to me or to Anna and go out there and support these folks. If you are from the Houston, is there anybody in the chat from this area? Just by a show of hands, anybody from that area? Just let me know. Because this is an important thing, it says here, why is the killer out on $250,000 bond? He shot her over 22 times. We ask for no bond. This was an execution. Justice for Diamond. No bond for kids murderers. No bonds for any murderers, as a matter of fact. All right, the ladies are back. Let's see if we have. Do we sound normal? Are we back?
Yes.
Okay.
At first, it was like a Mickey Mouse, and then it was like
I've never had that happen. So there's a first time.
It's a bandwidth issue.
Yeah, it's had to be a bandwidth issue. So I just showed the flyer. Do you want to speak about that, Blanca?
Yes, sir. It will be on Wednesday, 2/2/2022. And it will start at 10 o'clock, and we will begin at the DA's office and ending it at her court, which is 174th Court at 1201 Franklin. We are asking for no bond or for his bond to be revoked for many reasons. Because of the discrepancy in the audio, I'm not sure if you guys were able to pass what we've been going on, what she's been going on, what her family's been going on, or the rest of the people that live here. They've been threatened, harassed. She's already made that public. They've harassed the units outside that are protecting her home. So we're asking for the bond to be revoked because, what else do we need? We see it on this other case that you mentioned.
I already told them, what are y'all waiting for him to kill me or another family member so he can get another bond on top of this?
Now, obviously the district attorney knows that you're being threatened.
Right.
Okay. And you are potential witnesses in this case against this defendant.
Right.
That alone should be enough to go out and revoke the bond and put him back in.
Correct.
Because he's tampering with a witness, and that's another crime.
Yes.
Yeah. So
and what's going to happen? Another bond?
Yeah, his bond should be revoked on the basis of intimidation for witnesses. You guys even talked about the units. Now, some of the people in the chat are from outside the country. They might not know what the units mean. She's referring to the police who are assigned.
Units.
There is a police cruiser that's parked out in front of the home here, outside of their home. And they're harassing them, throwing bottles and rocks at them and distracting them. And then when they're distracting them, they're coming around the front of the house.
Right.
So this is intimidation 101. And there was even fake accounts created on social media where they made crazy statements of, hey, we got 23 for you and things of that nature.
Making fun of my daughter. Threatening friends.
And that all needs to be investigated.
There is a rap music making fun of my baby.
Right. And that all needs to be investigated, and it needs to be a part of the prosecution. Okay.
Right.
This is just ridiculous. You know, it just goes.
Well, that's all I hear. It's a process. Be patient, and it's under investigation.
Right.
That's all I hear.
And this is the reason for the protest, because we don't want this type of crime to be swept under the rug, just like all of these other cases. This was an execution. It wasn't a self-defense murder. It wasn't, you didn't kill to defend your family. You didn't shoot my niece to, get away from her. She was not stalking you. You were not in danger. So this should play a big part into why his bond shouldn't even be there.
Okay, let's get back to that, because that's where we lost you. What did the district attorney tell you was their thinking and reasoning to ask for the $250 and not higher?
No, we haven't heard nothing about that.
We haven't heard anything about that.
They never explained
The only thing that they said is that they cannot make it a capital murder because she wasn't raped. She wasn't, they didn't do anything to her prior to her murder, which to me, I think it's pretty dumb. I mean, they still killed her.
Okay. And do you know whose gun it was that was involved? Did they tell you that?
We just don't want to say something that is not correct. So that's part of them investigating.
Okay.
Right. So there's a ton of, I refrain from playing it's news footage. It's out there. Crime scene was on the scene at the location. And this is just a short jump right from her house, the field or the open grassy area where this crime took place. And they were out there doing the processing. They had the crime scene tape up. They were picking up ballistics. They were looking at lots of different evidence, and there's a lot of things that are going on behind the scenes that obviously Anna has shared with me that we won't share here, that we don't want to talk about, because the integrity of this investigation is of utmost importance. Now, anything that she's talking about here on Crime Time with DutyRon has been spoken to the media, has been talked about. You did the recent Fox News report. Was there anything in that Fox News report that you would want the folks here to hear? Do you want me to play that, or would you want me to just spare you that? Because you just did that Saturday night. I have it here queued up.
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay. All right, yeah. So Anna, this news reporter came directly to her home, right? He was outside your home, and he basically, hold on a second. I think I know what's going on here. Okay. So he came to your house and you gave him a full interview. It looked like it was a pretty decent amount of time. So I'm going to play that for the folks here so you can get this was just Saturday, probably taped a little bit. What was it, on Friday he came?
Last Friday, correct.
Right.
Thursday.
Thursday. All right. So let's share this so everybody can get a look at this. And we'll be back in a few minutes.
Shot 22 times and then tragically died in her mother's arm. The killer, he's now back on the streets.
Anna, thanks so much for talking with me. Tell me about Diamond.
I always told her she was special. I didn't know no reasons, but she was special. Very smart. Very, very smart. She loved dancing, singing. She loved school. And she was very excited about cosmetology.
Mm-hmm.
So it was her second year.
Take me back to the day where Peanut comes home.
She asked me, I was taking a shower. She asked me if she could go and walk Peanut. I asked the time and she said 8. And I said, okay, but hurry up, right? I said 20 minutes, just walk them and come back, which it would be at the field, right? It's not far from here. And just come back. I got out the shower. Maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes later, my My brother came in and said, I heard a lot of gunshots. Called Diamond to see if she's okay. I got up. I called her twice, straight to voicemail. I didn't like it because she would always answer my call or my text messages.
That was unusual.
Right. So everybody started, running around and that Peanut just, I don't know how he busted the door open, like really hard. So we said, okay, there's Diamond. But then my son screamed and said, Peanut just got here by himself. And that's when my heart dropped.
Peanut is her dog.
Right. My heart dropped, but I threw the phone and I started running towards, screaming her name. I just saw my daughter with a lot of blood. I started giving her CPR. And I just touched her hands, and my brother said, let's take her to the hospital. And when I tried to pick her up, I just knew that she wasn't gonna make it, and I told my brother there was nothing we can do, and I just told my daughter that I loved her a lot and that I loved her. And I was just screaming at her, I love you, and I love you, and Mama's here, and you need to go, just go. And she left. She left.
Did she look at you?
She had her eyes open, but she didn't talk or move. And I tried that CPR, and she was hardly breathing, but I know she heard me that Mama was there, and that she didn't die alone. I know. Because then she did close her eyes by herself, and that was it. So I know she heard us. And I know she knew she wasn't alone. And I thank God for that.
So now you find out they arrest him, but then they let him go. They charge him, they let him out on bail.
My heart dropped. My heart dropped. I just can't believe. My daughter, my diamond, she's not getting a second chance. She's not. Why should he?
Did they call you to let you know that they were going to put him back out on the street? No call.
No call. I found out by the news. She didn't deserve one bullet. But instead, she got more than 22. So that's execution.
More than 22 bullets. We were talking before the interview. Do you feel like there's going to be justice for your daughter? Do you think he's trying to escape?
Of course.
What makes you say that?
Escape from everything. Why? Because he was ready to flee the country. He was ready. He was packing. Which means family, mother, father, uncle, cousin, who were helping him.
They were trying to help him get away.
Of course. She worked, and her first paycheck, she bought her iPhone. That's that iPhone that I don't have because...
Where's the iPhone?
I don't know.
You don't know where the iPhone is?
No.
The iPhone that she took on that walk with her. Do the police know where the iPhone is?
I don't know.
Do you want the iPhone back?
Yeah, because she had all the pictures, all her with the, the videos, the family. 'Cause that's what she loved to do.
I think she would be so proud seeing you fight for her.
And that's what I always did for my kids. I say, you know how much I love my kids and how I defend my kids. And that's what I'm here for, right? I'm Diamond's mother.
Thank you.
Wow, what a strong woman you are, Anna. I saw you guys wiping tears away while we were watching this. Heartbreaking, heart-wrenching. Just. So they're having a little problems. Can you hear us now?
Oh, no. We can hear you. It's just that I gave it to her, so she didn't have to listen to that.
Good.
Okay.
So again, I mean that you saw all the chat and the comments in the chat. Everybody is supporting you. What a strong woman you are to have those conversations. And I know you're doing it in your daughter's name, and that's what's important, is to keep her memory alive and to fight for justice for Diamond. And that's what this is about. And I get it, Ed.
Yes, folks, Dawn Marie was kind enough to put up a change.org petition to revoke this bond. Please go there and sign that. Be respectful, show support for this family, and sign this petition.
Yes, I have this petition. This petition is, just so you know, ladies and gentlemen, in the description of this video, that petition is there. In the description of every Diamond Alvarez video that I've created, which is about 3 now, this petition is in there. I went ahead and edited it and put it in there. Sign it. Let's get 1 million signatures. Let's get millions of signatures for Diamond. There's the petition. Diane B has it up. Again, it's in the description of this video. Ladies, I know this has been a long 1 hour, and I so appreciate Anna and Blanca for coming and having the courage to come on and speak to the audience. Do you have anything you'd want to say to the folks out there? Blanca, Anna, one at a time.
I have no problem if I went to my daughter's basketball games, practices, doctor's appointments. I can do this for her too.
Stay strong, ladies. Stay strong.
Thank you,
Blanca,
very much.
do you have?
I need your support.
Yes, we thank you because this is now not just for Diamond. Yes, this is justice for Diamond, but as we can see, the system is broken.
Absolutely.
And we need to try to do anything to fix it, not just for Diamond, but because we have grandchildren, we have kids, and this could happen to anybody's kids, not just ours. This could happen to yours, to Mr.
Yes.
Wallace's. This could happen to anybody's kids. So therefore, we need to enforce this, make a change, not just for Diamond. Yes, I want to get justice. Yes, she wants to get justice. But if this means to get justice for everybody and to come together and get justice for not just us, but for everybody and become that power that we need, then that's what I want. That's what she wants. That's what we want.
Yeah. Advocating for your daughter, advocating for the world, advocating
Yes,
for
sir.
all victims out there. Just as we saw Gabby Petito's family, they're continuing to do that in the memory of their daughter, who was brutally beaten, strangled, and killed by her boyfriend. We could talk about cases all night and day long of the victims that are out there, but this is a way to fight back, and we need to do this, but we need to do it together. So I'm asking that everybody here in the chat, number 1, share this video. Number 2, sign that petition. And number 3, support these 2 ladies and their families. Support them as they go about this fight for justice for Diamond Alvarez. It's so important.
Tell your friends, tell your families, get on that petition.
Yeah. And Joe Murray, criminal defense attorney and retired New York City police officer, he is offered to help. I told you, Anna, about my friend Joe.
Awesome.
He's here in the chat, and he's offered to write up any type of petition towards the judge, towards any of these bad actors that are involved in this case. And Joe, it will help you for free. I know he won't charge, and he'll write up any type of petition or any type of paperwork I'm going to get on the phone with him tomorrow
Thank
and
you
talk.
so much for that. Thank you.
Yeah. We have resources here in New York. We're strong. We want to help. We want to do whatever we can. So I would like to just take this opportunity to thank you both for being here. I want to send prayers, strength, and positive vibes to you and your entire family. I know, Anna, you told me your husband is heartbroken and sick over this. Anxiety, depression, it's just all across the board.
Yes.
So I send strength to you and your family. I'm always here for you. I would like to, at the end of this, get a way that I could send a donation to you and your family to use however you need it from Crime Time with DutyRon. That comes from everybody who's given super chats and supports this community. I'd like to send a generous donation to you so you could use it for your family as you see fit. And that is my way of showing support from New York, as well as giving any type of resources. So after we get off here, you send me your either PayPal, Venmo, or anything like that. And I'd like to send, on behalf of this whole community here on Crime Time with DutyRon, a donation to you and your family.
Thank you so much. Thank
Yes,
you.
you're welcome.
God bless you guys. Thank you.
Yes. And guys, as I like to always end all of these live streams, I like to say, God bless the world. God bless the United States of America. And God bless each and every one of us here in the chat.
God bless you.
And all victims of crime and their families, but especially Diamond, Alvarez, the entire family, Machado, Anna, you guys are strong. And I thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good night from New York. Good night from Florida. And
Good night.
Thank you to all the
Good night to
replay viewers.
everybody, and thank you to everybody, all of your people. Thank you.
Thank you, Blanca. Thank you, Anna.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay.